Well, New York City real estate is some of the most expensive in the country.
It sure is.
You know what? Compared to the astronomical prices in places like Monaco, London, and even Hong Kong, the NYC seems a little bit more like a bargain.
Really? Well, here to discuss the highs and lows of the competitive global real estate market is Manhattan broker Maggie Kent. Maggie, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you. Happy to be here.
Maggie, you're an expert on Manhattan real estate in the global market. I just finished reading that book, Crazy Rich Asians. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
It's all about the Singapore market and real estate and how crazy it is. But anyway, we've got to talk about that later. I'm obsessed with this book.
She's like,
We've got to talk about that because it's just crazy. It makes New York, we feel like paupers here.
Yeah, actually, New York can be a bargain compared to some of the Asian markets. Exactly. And a lot of the money's coming here. So, of course, I mean, and the developers are responding to that. What's going on in the rest of the world?
So you were with Selling New York?
Yeah,
okay,
HGTV.
So how did you come to be a part of that show? And tell me, what's it like being on television for something that's usually and historically had been so private?
Right, exactly. I agree. There's such a fascination with anything to do with real estate, luxury real estate in particular. The show Selling New York, you got a window into some of the Manhattan premier properties. So I really enjoy being on the show. It was very organic, actually, just being in the business, being at the company I'm with, Core. They approached our company to be one of the firms on the show, and I was lucky enough to get on it myself, and I had a ball.
That's great. Now, one of the places, of course, you hit up is all over New York City. Some of those places are the hottest. So tell us, currently, what are the hottest places in New York City to get a luxury apartment?
Gosh, hottest and most expensive. Let's start there. Most expensive around Central Park. That's the blue chip area. And of course, there's Tribeca,
Which
West
side
Village.
of the park, though?
Central Park South, Central Park West.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking $88 million for the largest sale right around there. Yeah, in Central Park West. It's called 15 Central Park West. Yes. Where celebrities live or have bought, like Sting and Denzel Washington. Yeah. So that's a hot neighborhood. There's new development going on there that's very exciting. Some of the biggest towers you'll see in the city to come. Actually, currently there's the largest building in the Western Hemisphere is going to be built here in New York, and you'll see that in 2015. It'll be 96 stories.
Really?
That apartment, there's an apartment in contract there for $95 million, which obviously eclipsed the latest, biggest sale. So
Just one apartment?
That's, the penthouse.
One apartment. Okay, interesting.
Who are buying these apartments?
And where are they coming from?
Where are they coming from?
Well, you mentioned Asia, so I know the Chinese have a lot of money now. The Middle East, I think, is
certainly oil sheiks.
The Qatars, oil sheiks. Okay,
exactly. Russian billionaires. You've got your bank moguls. You've got tech people. You've got celebrities. You've got, heiresses, families from New York. So it's local and it's international.
Yeah, those Russian heiresses are buying up everything.
That's true.
$88 million.
Yeah, she bought the $88 million.
Yeah, exactly.
What's her name? Not Abramovich, no. Yeah, I know. It starts with an A. Yes. Okay.
So how has real estate really changed in New York City? Has Central Park always been a multi-million-dollar spot?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. The price per square foot there, now it's running about $9,000 a foot. And you mentioned London. There it's about $11,000 a square foot for prime luxury property, One Hyde Park.
One Hyde Park.
Hyde Park,
Vanity Fair just had a huge piece about One Hyde Park. Yeah, that was a great read. Very juicy.
Yes, very good. So we're still, like I said, we're still a value compared to places like London and Hong Kong and Monaco. And of course, downtown. We haven't talked too much about that. Downtown in Tribeca and the West Village, we've also got great new development where they're flocking. There used to be a concentration around Central Park only, but now a lot of the Upper East Siders, Upper West Siders are moving downtown for higher ceilings, more modern. There's more building going on there, and of course 3 to 4 bedroom apartments, which we haven't seen. Now that's coming back. The developers are responding to that demand here.
And Brooklyn.
Yes.
All of a sudden, Brooklyn's hot. I lived in Brooklyn years ago in Fort Greene, and everyone's like, "Oh, Fort Greene's so dangerous." And I was like, "It's so charming." Now you go to Fort Greene, and it's like mini Paris.
Yeah.
No one speaks English. Everyone speaks French.
It's like mini Europe.
So that was the time to buy when you were there.
That was the time to buy.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, it's
what about
exploded.
Brooklyn? Yeah.
Oh, it's exploded. I mean, all the neighborhoods. Again, the developers have responded in places like Williamsburg to buy a townhouse there now, and some of it actually compares to Manhattan prices. Of course, when people were outpriced, they went to Brooklyn, and now that's changed. It's leveling out.
Now let's talk a little bit about other places, because I know London had one of the most expensive apartments that ever sold for $219 million. That is a lot of money. It makes New York seem a little bit better with some of the $88 million places and 95.
Exactly. Right now, the highest priced real estate property is on the top of the Pier Hotel. It's $125 million. So when you look at that, that is a bargain, correct? But there's also more to buy here. There's more inventory because there's some restrictions in, let's say, Monaco or London, where it's a smaller piece of land that you've got to work with in terms of how much they can build, how much they can change. Again, the restrictions. So here, the developers that are building the towers, you actually have more inventory, correct? Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about, so New York is ranked 8th in the list of the most expensive cities, and the priciest places to purchase a luxury home are, what, 1, Monaco, 2, Hong Kong,
Yes,
3,
exactly.
London, 4, Geneva.
To buy luxury real estate in Monaco, that's 172 square feet you'll get. Here you get about 474. So right there, you see the math.
Okay. Well, it makes a little bit more sense. It seems like New York's a deal after all, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, now to some of the celebrities. They make real estate hot. They make it more, expensive to live in some areas. Will and Jada, they just put up their place in L.A. on the market for $42 million.
Right, exactly. The compound, yeah.
And what is so great about this place?
I know these are compounds. That's the thing. It just gets bigger and bigger and more expansive. Real estate just gets higher and higher. So we have, let's take Manhattan. We've got P. Diddy has a home on Midtown West, 66th floor, about $8 million for 2-bed, 2-bath. That you can pick that up if you'd like.
I've been there.
All right.
Yeah,
You've seen it.
I have. I interviewed him there.
That's great.
Wow.
It's a great space.
It's on the market. Rosie O'Donnell has something in the West Village on West 12th Street for $11 million that's currently on the market. If you'd like Leonardo DiCaprio's beach house property for a cool $18.9 million,
That's it?
7 rooms, 7 bedrooms.
And what about Celine Dion? Does she have one?
Yeah, that just came on the market. Another compound in Jupiter Island, Florida, $72.5 million.
Wow.
It's
Now
a
let
water
me ask
park.
you. Oh, it's a water, pretty much.
Water
It
park
sounds
there.
like it.
Is there a premium paid for celebrity homes? Is there sort of a celebrity tax? People
Sure.
are willing to shell out a little more just to say that, Leo used to live here or Celine used to live here.
It certainly adds cachet. Certainly adds cachet. I think it does, yeah.
Now, does it have to be their main property, or can it be like their summer home that they never really go to?
I think it could be either. It could be a vacation home. It could
Okay.
be Madonna's old apartment. I mean, this has been the history of New York celebrity for years and years and years, right? So
Do you think it happens to have the same impact over the country, around the country with celebrities?
I think so. But again, I mean, New York has international appeal. So again, you may want to, if you want the compound in Dallas, you can have, but then you could also have a Central Park view. So it's depending on the international buyer that comes in or buyer that comes in.
What brought you into the real estate game?
It was in my family, actually. Yeah, it's in my blood, definitely. It's in my DNA. I've been in the business about a decade. Like many New Yorkers, I've been in different industries from time to time, but this one I absolutely love. You can't get enough of it, clearly.
It's very sexy, isn't it?
It's fun. It's very fun.
And what do you enjoy the most about it?
Gosh, I think
Is it
it's
the-
ever-changing. It's dynamic when you understand how New York real estate changes. Being a part of it is exciting. Changing someone's life, perhaps, when you sell them an apartment that they're going to live in for the next 10 years, or their vacation. It's fascinating.
And what about dealing with all the personalities you have? Especially, we've seen you on your show dealing with some interesting personalities and just trying to cope with everything that they want for under budget.
Sure. Well, New York buyers are savvy. International buyers are savvy, so you have to cope with that. It's a very sophisticated buyer you're dealing with, and you're dealing with a lot of money. So at the end of the day, you have to satisfy their need for their home, and that's our goal.
Well, what about for those that don't have tons of money to shell out for Leonardo or P. Diddy's place? Are there some affordable places in New York City?
I guess that's relative, right? Sure. I mean, affordable. When you're not talking the multi-million-dollar apartment, and you want a 2-bedroom apartment for an empty nest or a new couple, you can find some something in great areas for under $2 million.
Like
you
what
can.
areas would you be looking
Lower Fifth Avenue, you can
Okay.
find, certainly there, you can find something around Central Park right now that's in a condo that's about 2 million, 2.5 facing the, well, maybe not facing the park.
It's the other
That's the
side.
thing. People-
Maggie, you know it's not. Well, you know it's not facing the park.
No, it's not facing the park. Maybe the lower floor, a
Lower
little darker.
floor, maybe.
But that's the thing. That's where you get more economical. You can still be in a great neighborhood, walking distance to the park, or in the West Village in a trendy neighborhood. But you might have a lower floor, maybe not the best view. But you still have services. Maybe you won't have the lap pool on the roof.
Any other parts of New York or the boroughs?
Sure. I mean, what do you mean? Other parts of
Like
New-
it seems like a lot of people are going to Harlem because they're outpriced
Yes.
in Manhattan.
Sure, Harlem, the financial district, there's better bargains there, perhaps because you're not right in the central, like
Right.
Union Square
Okay.
area and all the arteries of New York. But, that, again, it's views. Whether it's Malibu or, Hong Kong, you want the views, you pay for that.
Yeah, as they say, location, 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 right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maggie's like, yeah.
Yep,
Of course.
talk to me.
Maggie, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my
and we'll be
pleasure.
calling you when we get our millions
Yes,
together,
we're ready.
right? Yes.
We're ready.
I'm ready
Put up
too.
pied à terre.
Pied de terre.
Yes.
There you go. All right, thanks, Maggie. You're
Thank you.
watching Arise Entertainment 360.